Welcome to New Life Live with host and founder of New Life Ministries, Stephen Arterburn. For 35 years, New Life has been transforming lives one at a time thanks to the giving hearts of you, our listeners. Our goal is to provide you with wisdom from God's Word to give you hope and help in life's hardest places. If you have a question you'd like to ask today, our phone lines are open. Call 1-800-229-3000. That number again is 1-800-229-3000. Now here's Steve.
Hi there, welcome to New Life Live. Really glad you're with us here today. December 1st, the number one day of the last month, and you're here, and I have the great privilege of being here with Dr. Jill Hubbard. Hi, Jill.
Hello, Steve.
And JJ West. JJ, how are you today?
Hey, Steve. I've got a bit of a cold, so I probably sound a little funny today, but other than that, I'm doing well.
Good deal. Well, December, I remember that we did some fireworks 4 days ago on the 4th of July, and now it's already December. I mean, that's when you reach my age, it just
That's what
ticks
Dave Stoop used to say.
Yeah. And then I'll take down the Christmas lights, and I'll be shooting off fireworks 4 days later. But so glad that everybody's with us here, and want to talk to you about these holiday seasons. You've already probably alienated everyone in your family at Thanksgiving. Well, actually, hopefully not. But sometimes you need some coaching on how to make a holiday different. And we have a lot of coaches that can help you do that. And so I'm just thinking about, sometimes people think that coaching is just, let's set a goal and you're going to give me some strategies and encourage me and all that. But JJ and Jill, coaching isn't therapy, but it can be really therapeutic. Can you talk about that a little bit? Let's start with you, JJ.
Yeah, so I think some of the main ways that a coach can help, especially with these goals that we're trying to set and keep, is number one is they can help you identify what's your why behind your goal. So it's not just the what, but the why behind it, which keeps you on track or helps keep you on track. They can also serve as a sounding board to analyze whether your goals are realistic or not. To identify, okay, maybe that's really out of reach. You need to dial that back a bit, or maybe that's too easy and you need to amp it up some. I think 3, they can help identify the tripping hazards, the goal killers that get in the way, that get us off track, so that we can make a plan to avoid them. And then, like you said, they do offer encouragement, especially if we do have a setback, that we don't let that setback derail us completely, but that we go, okay, I had a setback, now I keep moving forward.
Very good, yeah. Jill, your thoughts on...
Well, I think in addition to what we do in therapy, which we also do some coaching in therapy, a coach that, especially if they have a specialty, like I always think of an ADD coach, where they can help walk you through some steps and give you some of that external structure that you lack internally. So coming alongside, coming up with a plan, having the check-ins, really helping you move towards success.
Right. Okay, so Tiger Woods, let's say. Tiger Woods would be like the ultimate golfer in my mind. He has a golf coach.
Right.
I know that because he fired one golf coach and hired another. So if the greatest golfer needs a golf coach to help him golf,
right.
Well, wouldn't it be helpful for us, especially if every holiday season we hit the same doggone stuff? It just, and why not do it? So you call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE, and we can put you in touch with a great coach that could help you navigate the holidays. And what a great thing that would be. You come out on the other side of it, and relationships are stronger. They're more natural and healing and redemptive, as we say, than hurtful. That would be a great thing. We'll go to a break. We'll go to Megan right after this. You're listening to New Life Live, 1-800-229-3000. First day of the month. All sorts of things could happen if you would decide this is going to be the beginning of a whole new me leading into a new year. We'll be back after this.
For most of my life, I've been dealing with an opiate addiction.
Why is opioid addiction quickly becoming one of our nation's biggest killers? Maybe it's because it isn't only those who are addicted who are in denial.
We did what I see so many parents do, is it can't be an addiction. There's something medically wrong.
It's impossible to solve a problem when you don't know what you're up against, and families will try to find any explanation except the one that will put them on the right path.
Alcoholism and drug addiction is a family disease. It doesn't affect just the individual.
If someone you love is abusing painkillers, know what you're up against. It's time to admit it's addiction and seek treatment. Call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. We have Christ-centered partner treatment centers around the country. Call 1-800-639-5433 or visit us online at newlife.com.
We just made a decision. We will do whatever it takes.
1-800-NEW-LIFE. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
My wife and I were privileged to attend the Intimacy and Marriage Workshop. We were very thankful for the opportunity. We're still on cloud nine over the tools that were given to us. You know, the breakout groups, we're the three other couples that we were set up with. I don't know if you pick them by random or God did it all. I know He did, but by golly, everybody worked well with each other. We all had a different set of circumstances, and we learned from each other and the comfort circle and learning to use our words and learning to ask the questions and learning to listen to the answers and learning to take that input from your partner or from therapy or from an instructor. It's amazing. And we're just looking forward to using the tools you've been given. And we're just so blessed. We just can't thank you enough.
Okay, so that's not a rare thing, that somebody goes to intimacy and marriage and has that kind of result. And so if that's not characteristic of your relationship, you could come. You could join us in February. We would love to see you there. And I don't think your relationship would ever be the same again. JJ, why do you think intimacy and marriage, I mean, there is no other experience like it from other ministries. Why do you think it's so powerful?
You know, it's a combination of learning some information that you need to know in order to work on your relationship, but it's the relationships that you form there. He talked about the relationships he formed with the other couples in his breakout group, as well as the facilitator of the group. Those relationships are the redemptive relationships. They're the things that make the difference. It's not just information download. The information is important, but it's not ultimately what brings healing. What brings healing is the application of that information through a relationship.
Amen. Jill, you ever thought about what makes these intensives so powerful and rich for folks?
Well, I think being in individual therapy is so important, but when you're in a group process, it brings up different emotions and as you share in front of other people. And there's really something quite powerful about it. And as well as you're being primed with great information that you guys give in between the groups. So it really sets it up nicely.
It really does. Let me briefly here, and then we'll go to Megan. But you know, it's one thing to hug each other. It's another thing to truly hold each other. It's one thing to listen to somebody and they feel like, man, he's really listening. But it's another thing to hear them, to hear what's below what's being said. It's one thing to be present. That's good. Another thing to truly engage with that person that you're present with. And then great for couples to be in agreement. But to be attuned with each other, to kind of understand what the other would be feeling and not reading the mind, but you just sense because you're so in tune, so in agreement before the thing ever comes up. It's one thing to have a conversation. It's another thing to be so curious about this person you're married to. Never ending, the curiosity, never stop wanting to know more about this person. See, so what I did, everything I listed on one side is good, but there's a deeper, richer experience to that, and that's what we help you find. If you're interested, it's 1-800-NEW LIFE, Intimacy in Marriage, and we're going to do that in February. It's right here on my sheet. All I have to do is pull the two pieces of paper apart, and it's here it is, February 16, 17, and 18, Southern California. You call us, we'll tell you about it. I got to tell you, I don't know of anybody in all these years that's ever said to me, you know, the worst thing that ever happened to us is we went to that marriage thing. Or, man, do we ever regret going to that thing. I do not think in any way you'll regret it. Well, we'll talk some more about how to have a rich relationship rather than just a regular one. But right now we're going to go to Megan, Richmond, Virginia. She watches us on the New Life Live YouTube channel. Glad that she does. Hi, Megan. How are you today? What's going on?
Hey, I'm a ministry partner, and I hope you all are doing well, and I'm okay.
Well, I'm glad I think you're part of Club New Life is what you're saying, right?
Yes.
Thank you for doing that. Means a lot.
No problem. I was calling because I raised my daughter as a single parent, and she's also a single mom, and I help her a lot with my grandchild, try to take a lot of pressure off of her. A few months ago, she decided once again to move in with this guy for financial reasons, thinking that it would be better. I was very vocal about that, to not make that mistake, because she's been down this road before. It didn't work out, so you can't keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. And I also shared with her when JJ said on a show a few months back that his wife had said, you can make a choice, but you can't choose a consequence. So now she's dealing with the consequences of her actions. The young man he left, it got a little bit too much for him, so he left her. And then another thing that she just shared, and I have not talked to her since then, she is pregnant again. I am so, I don't know if I want to say hurt. I'm just so disappointed, because you already see how hard it is to raise a child, and it would even be harder if I didn't help her with a lot of finances with my granddaughter. And she's also thinking about not keeping the baby.
Oh, dear. So sorry to hear that. So the question for us would be what?
I've been wrestling with if I have, I don't know, enabled, because we're another single mom, such as myself, because I didn't get a lot of financial help. I worked 2 jobs in order to raise her. And I'm wondering if I made it too comfortable for her to go, even though I was very vocal about her choices, because I kept trying to tell her to surrender to God, seek God, and let Him direct your path. Stop using these men as a way of meeting a need, a financial need, to help get bills paid. But she refused to do that. So I just feel like that I enable it, because I do take a lot of burden off her with my granddaughter.
Yeah. Well, you're doing the best you can with what you know. That's one thing. Also, the words from a parent to a desperate adult child, it just seems like our heart is so right and good, and our words just seem to be so worthless to them. And they resist just common sense kinds of things that would make life better. I think because they're so convinced that they're going to try harder, they're going to figure it out or whatever, or they don't want to rock the boat. They like you helping, like she likes you helping. She likes being so desperate you feel like you have to step in. So first thing I want to say, Megan, anything you could do to have this baby be born would be a great thing. And people when the man leaves, they want to have an abortion when they can't imagine raising the child on their own. They can't imagine what that's going to be like, all these kinds of imagined things, when somebody can make a big difference by saying, this life has been created, and there are so many couples that would so love to have a child, they can't have a child. And before you decide to do anything, let's explore what it would be like to carry the baby and allow someone else to raise this child that is a real live human being. You want to get her to a pregnancy center that does sonography, because when moms see this picture of the baby inside of them with the heart beating and all that, it so radically lowers the chance of them wanting to have an abortion. So seeing the baby in the womb, knowing that there are resources and that those resources are there before the baby's born, that adoption agencies help you bring a healthy baby into the world, those are really great things. And sometimes all she's thinking about is how miserable I'm going to be with a baby and nobody helping me. And wouldn't it be great to be free of this? And the whole adoption thing isn't even there. Sometimes a church will step in and say, if you'll just bring this child into the world, we're going to help you get there. And then after the child's born, we're going to help you even more. Those are my thoughts to begin with. But let's go to Jill and then JJ on what do you think's the best for Megan in this situation?
First of all, you don't heal a mistake with another mistake, right? The child is not a mistake, so please don't hear that. But the getting pregnant, putting herself in that position, then to get rid of the child, it's going to be heartache for her. And people don't realize this because they just want to leave the current difficulty. But literally the second the baby is gone, girls have regret. And they live with that and the shame of that. And it haunts them for years and years. So that's first of all. Second of all, bless you as a single mom. I've been a single mom. And I understand what that's like. And of course you're going to help your child. You are trying to help her not live through the same difficulty you lived through. And you're giving her reasonable, logical advice. And of course you're wanting her to learn from your mistakes. And it's so disheartening when instead of learning from our mistakes, kids repeat the past. And it does happen. It's uncanny how much it happens because so much of it isn't logical. And I think of your daughter going from guy to try to be taken care of. Did she have a father that was even remotely involved? What are her issues there? And that's
the issue.
Yeah.
Not to cut you off, because
sure.
He just re-entered her life 3 years ago. And so it was me, my mom, and God raising her, because that was my support, the Lord and my mom. Mm-hmm. And he just re-entered her life. So she is so upset with me because ever since she shared the news, I haven't talked to her because I don't know if I've been hurt. I'm just so disappointed. Mm-hmm. And so now the attack is on me because she feels like her father is in her corner, but I'm not. But I'm the one that's been there since day one. It's just this news right now. I just feel like I just can't even handle it.
Well, you need time to grieve it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right? It's hard to just shift gears that fast, of course. It starts out as not good news because it's not in the right context. And here's this guy who hasn't been around and shows up, and now she's giving him kudos instead of you.
Yeah.
And that is the heartache. It's the parent that you have the least connection with that children long for. She's longing for something from him. And that's why she's making him all good right now. So no, it really isn't about you, even though it hurts very much. That's part of her journey and her dealing with her dad issues.
All right, the music's starting. When we come back, we want to hear from JJ. Megan, I'm so glad you've called us. We really do hear the pain that you're going through. Maybe we can give you some good help here. I hope so. If you need help, you can call us here, 1-800-229-3000. But our 800 number, 1-800-NEW-LIFE. We have just the best folks. I love these people. Some of the strongest people we've ever had on our phones, helping people find the right resource. And we'd love to do that for you. And that number is 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Hope this is going to be a great December for you. We'll talk about that in a bit.
I came kicking and screaming. The last 24 years have been filled with pain. I was violently molested and raped from the age of 6 to 13. It has changed everything in my life. This weekend for me has been life-altering. I have realized that God does love me, that this is my story, and that's okay for the first time in a long time.
This is Steve Arterburn, and this is the story of a new life. She came kicking and screaming and now has a changed life. You can be part of offering hope to others as you step out in faith by donating to New Life Ministry.
To make your tax-deductible gift, visit newlife.com and click Donate. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE or text NLM to 28950. That's NLM to 28950.
I was sort of vaguely familiar that the 12 steps had some origination in the Bible. I found Life Recovery, and one of the things I liked so much was that it had such a broad appeal. It wasn't limited to just alcohol or drugs, that it was addressing a wide range of problems.
At New Life, we believe everyone can benefit from a life recovery experience. There are life recovery groups all over the country. They take place online, in conference calls, and in person. And if there isn't one in your area, we can help you start one. We have startup materials, leaders' guides, CDs, Bibles, and more, all with discounts available for groups. Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE and ask for Terry Ward. The 12 Steps have long been a great help to people in recovery because much of the 12 Steps' power comes from the fact that they capture principles clearly revealed in the Bible.
The 12 steps is really a pattern for all of us as Christians.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. We'd love to hear from you. If you have a question or a comment, call toll-free 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
We're back. Steve Arterburn here, and Megan is on the phone. Of course, she's talking about her daughter, her adult daughter, who's just making all sorts of tough decisions, rough decisions. And, man, I'll tell you, there's a book by Jim Burns, Doing Life with Our Adult Children. I'm going to get that for you, Megan. So many problems like this, and we just don't know what to do. What do you think, JJ, would be something helpful for Megan to do?
Megan, first of all, thank you for calling, and I'm sorry that you're hurting the way that you are. I think Jill was right in saying that the work that you need to focus on is grieving, that you had some hopes and dreams for your daughter and for your granddaughter that aren't happening right now and maybe are being put on hold, and you have to grieve that. You have to deal with the loss and the disappointment and the hurt that's there. I think that's important. But you asked the question about whether or not you're enabling your daughter. I don't think that loving someone who is hurting or who has made bad choices or who has sinned, loving them is enabling them. If that were the case, then Jesus was a major enabler. When he meets with, when the whole confrontation in John chapter 8 with the woman that's caught in adultery, they throw her down before Jesus. The law says we should stone her. What do you say? Right? And Jesus is caught there in this trap that they've tried to set for him. And what does he say to her? neither do I condemn you, but go and sin no more. So he does not condemn her. She expects that she's going to get condemnation. He doesn't condemn her. He loves her, but he also says, look, there's a way to live, to experience abundant life that you're not engaged in, and you're not experiencing abundant life. So he gives her instruction, and you've done that with your daughter. You've said, look, this is something it's not healthy for you to move in with another man expecting that he's going to provide some financial assistance. You've done this before. It's not worked out. You've provided that instruction. It wasn't heard. It's not enabling to come alongside and love that person and try and help them put their life back on the right track. It would be enabling to ignore and say, oh, it's fine to do whatever you want. Don't worry about the consequences, or make excuses. Oh, it's because he was just a bad guy. No, it was a bad choice to be with him, but that doesn't mean I stop loving you. It was a bad choice to get pregnant outside of marriage, but that doesn't mean I stop loving you, right? I'm still your mom. I will always be your mom. I will always love you. Yes, I have to do some grieving work, but my love for you doesn't change based on your behavior, right? That's not enabling. That's loving the way Jesus loves.
That's pretty good stuff there, Megan. I hope that's helpful to you. The best thing I could...
Because
Go ahead.
I didn't think about the grieving part, and I feel like that's exactly because it's just like when I found out, that night I just couldn't stop crying, and then church Sunday, one of the ushers came over there where I was at because I just could not stop crying. I don't know.
Well, let me offer something up to you. We're doing Emotional Freedom tomorrow online, and if you can make the time to be with us, I'll give that to you and hope that could be a blessing to you. Also, I want to send you Healing is a Choice, and I hope and pray there's something there that would be a healing force for you. And one of the great things about that book is it helps us to see reality, to grieve that part that we wish wasn't there or that never was there, and then we come to accept it. That's grieving should lead us to acceptance, and acceptance should then lead us to embrace whatever is there that we've accepted. So we accept what we've lost, and whatever's there after that, we embrace that rather than fight against it or resent it. That's really the key of those healing steps there. I'll send that to you.
And Megan, let other people be around you. Go to other people, to friends, to support, to your church. Don't take this to your daughter. Grieve away from your daughter. Go to, if your mom is still alive, right? Seek out your own support system for this, so then you can do the right things with your daughter.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I hope that's helpful, and I hope and pray. Well, I'd love to hear what happens, but being a father of Madeline and her being my adopted daughter, and just one of the greatest sources of joy ever, and such a contribution to this world. She's just a fantastic human being. I just wish more people would, from the very beginning, have in their head, maybe there's another way other than carrying the baby, keeping the baby, or aborting the baby. This adoption option, it's just taken a back seat too much recently, and we want to talk about it as much as possible.
Well, and the weird thing, Steve, is she looks like you.
Yeah, well, that's what people said all the time. I've never seen a dad and daughter look so much alike. And we would say, yeah, we really are fascinated by that. Pretty great. Oh, dear. I love getting to spend the holidays with her. My kids just are crazy about Madeline, and all of our kids love each other, which is kind of an unusual thing for a blended family. They're there. They show up for each other. And I would want that for every blended family. We'll take this break, come right back. We'll talk to Sue, but I want to give you the AAA holiday strategy.
We went to the Intimacy in Marriage in 2019. We were both done.
This is Steve Arterburn. Do you feel like your marriage is done? New Life can help. We believe that everybody has room to grow in the intimacy level of their life. Our Intimacy in Marriage workshop examines the various types of intimacy, spiritual, emotional, and physical, as well as the challenges of experiencing true intimacy.
The next Intimacy in Marriage workshop is February 16th to the 18th in Orange County, California. Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE to find out more or go to newlife.com. 1-800-639-5433.
Don't settle for a miserable marriage or even one that's just okay. It's possible to experience a new level of intimacy and have a great marriage.
The transformation, phenomenal. It has transformed our lives so much.
1-800-NEW-LIFE.
I have given to New Life regularly because I have so many people that I am referring to New Life who so benefit from the ministry. I just can't imagine what would happen in my area if New Life wasn't available to us.
You can help New Life Live stay on the air by joining Club New Life today. When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, we'll send you the new member thank you gift of all 8 100-day devotionals, including 100 Days of Prayer, 100 Days of Freedom from Depression, and 100 Days of Peace. There are also ongoing benefits like the monthly Club New Life CD or download, access to the Club New Life video library, quarterly resources, free shipping on purchased resources, discounts on workshops, and quarterly online meetings with Steve. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Support Club New Life, and together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places. Call 1-800-639-5433 to join Club New Life today. We're glad you joined us for New Life Live. To be a part of the program, call 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
We're back, Steve Arterburn here. And before we go to Sue, hang in there. I want to give you the AAA strategy for holidays. You ready? So here it is. And these are tried and true, proven to work over time. So first of all, you have to approach your family outing with an attitude of whatever agenda I was hoping to accomplish, I have to sacrifice that. Not going to do it. And I'm going to do something different. I'm going to try, as it may, swallow my pride and maybe make this relationship with the difficult person a little bit better. So that requires that we're going to bite the turkey, bite our tongue, and exist. But here are the 3 A's. Number 1, I'm going to adapt me to the situation. So that means I'm not going to say some things I'd normally say. I'm not going to do some things I'd normally do. I'm going to adapt because I know it's going to make it more comfortable. For instance, here's an adaptation. I talk a lot. I'm going to talk less. Okay? That's simple. I make the change to make the setting more enjoyable for everybody else. Second thing, accommodation. I'm going to accommodate the things that irritate me rather than talk about them, be reactive to them. I'm going to make that accommodation. So I'm going to change me. That's my adaptation. And I'm going to accommodate the things that they need to change and I don't like, but I'm not going to make it an issue. And then I'm going to, here's the last one, it's a big one, affirm this person in some way. I'm going to be noticing them, listening to them, and somewhere, I'm going to be able to say, that is so great, or that's such a good thing about you, or I appreciate that about you. So adapt, accommodate, and affirm. I'll bet you'll walk away from that Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner and you'll be thinking, well, that might have been the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. But they will walk away thinking, was she on drugs, or was that genuine, that she was so nice and wonderful? Maybe I need to give this a second look. So that's my little...
So asking them not to come isn't on your list.
There's the poor they. Just ask them not to come. There you go. Brilliant.
Okay, we're trying to work on it. I get it. Not just avoid, right?
That's
Steve?
right. Yeah, that's not an thing. All right. Let's go to Sue, Long Beach, California, watching on the YouTube channel there, New Life Live YouTube channel. How you doing, Sue? And so glad you're with us here today. What's going on with you?
Thank you.
Sure.
Well, my husband and I are going to be moving his 97-year-old mother from her home to a boarding care very soon. She has moderate dementia, and she has really very little short-term memory.
Okay.
And so my question is, when do we tell her about this move? I'm afraid when we tell her, she's going to be agitated, but then she'll forget, and then we'll have to tell her again when the day comes. So I don't know when would be the best time to tell her.
All right. I think JJ is a specialist in the most difficult conversation anybody ever has with their parent. I mean, this is, the driver's license thing, or the driving thing. That's a tough one. Mom, we think it might be time to not drive anymore. You did, run into the gas pump and spewed gas. But this is even tougher. It's time for you to move into boarding care. JJ, what do you think? She's saying there's dementia.
Yeah.
When do you mention it the first time, bring it up the first time?
Yeah. So, Sue, I appreciate the call. That's a tough position to be in because, of course, you don't want to have the conversation over and over. And, it could be, somewhat traumatizing for her, but it could be somewhat traumatizing for you and your husband as well to have that difficult conversation multiple times. So you said she's got problems with short-term memory, but it sounds like maybe long-term memory as well. Like she wouldn't hold this data over multiple days or weeks is what you're saying, correct?
Right. No, she couldn't.
Yeah. When are you actually making the move?
Probably in the next 10 days.
Oh,
we just found a great place for her that's going to be perfect.
Okay. Has there been up till now any conversation around the idea of moving, or that's all been done just between you and your husband?
Well, strangely enough, in her dementia, recently, she's she doesn't realize that she is in her own home. She's mentioned numerous times, "Oh, I need to get home. I need to get home." Mm-hmm. And then, we started out saying, "Oh, Mom, this is your home. This is your home. You've lived here for, about 25 years." Mm-hmm. And then she accepts it. And then, 20 minutes later, I really need to get home. And then when I say, "Okay, it's time to get to bed," she goes, "Well, none of my things are here." "No, Mom, everything's here for you."
Yeah. That's really hard. I think at this point, first of all, Sue, let me ask you this question. Are you and your husband in agreement or disagreement as far as when to talk to his mom about the move?
We're in agreement. But we just don't know.
Okay.
We'll agree, but we just don't know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. At this point, if she's having that difficult a time, even holding on to reality that she's in her own home, that her own things are there, I don't think it really matters a whole lot when you tell her because there's not an understanding of what's going on. So if you wanted to delay that until the day of or the day before, I don't think it's going to really make a whole lot of difference for her because right now she's not living in the reality that you and your husband are living in. The rest of us are living in.
Very good.
Well,
Jill?
That could actually work in your favor, Sue, in terms of where her dementia is at. I would tell her that she's going on vacation because that's a happy thing, even though maybe she'll balk at that. And if she forgets, okay, remember, Mom, we're going on vacation. And then the day that you leave, okay, we're going on vacation and we're going to go stay at this, this hotel or this place. Bed and breakfast. Yes. Yes. And then you take her there and eventually, she's not remembering. Right? So
and there's this wonderful staff that will take care of you while you're here.
Right.
Yeah.
And when she says, well, I need to go home. Yeah, we'll be going home. We'll be going home soon. But for now, we really like it here, so we're going to stay a little longer.
Right.
Right. And you
One
tell.
thing I didn't mention that kind of prompted the move now is her main caregiver is leaving the country for about 6 weeks for the holidays. And so we thought, okay, well, she's going to be going through some transition with, a different caregiver. So maybe this is the best time. So do we, when we tell her, do we mention that this person is leaving or just go with the vacation scenario?
Well, you could do both, actually. You could tell her that, let's say the name Lisa. Lisa is going to take some time off. I wouldn't use 6 weeks, but like Jill's saying, a lot of this doesn't really matter. She doesn't retain it.
Right. You're not lying to her. You're just letting go of some of the details that the rest of us would want to know. Because she's not processing those anyway. So you're framing it in a way that is, in a sense, user-friendly for her.
And having gone through this, I would, you might just say to her, and even though she's not going to remember a lot, but say, if everything could stay the same, it would stay the same. But, your caregiver needs time off. You need some care. If we just believe that people, the older they get, the better their health is, could stay the same. But, that's not true. Also, if we do something different now, you have more capacity to adjust and enjoy it now versus, if it was after you'd had a fall or ill. And I would talk about all of the pluses to the new place. I'd be sure I knew those things. And here's the other thing. I'd be using the word new place, new experience, new, because when you're old, you hear the word old a lot and things that refer to old. So I would try to throw in new. And then the other thing is, we're going to be with you. In other words, we're not dropping you off somewhere. We're going to come be with you and be part of your life as much as we possibly can. Those can be reassuring. We'll take a break. Come right back after this.
We all face days where life throws us a curveball and our routines or plans get disrupted. Things we wanted to do are forced to take a backseat to the unexpected demands of the day. If you normally listen to New Life Live on a radio station, well, you might not be able to that day. And on these hectic days when you're feeling stressed or frazzled, hearing the sound of counsel given on New Life Live is just what you need to navigate the unexpected things of life.
Every time I'm troubled or I have a problem, I'll cut on New Life, and there's always something that is said that is helpful to me.
By listening, I have learned more than I can ever express about how God wants me to live.
Download the New Life app for the easiest way to listen wherever you are and at a time that's convenient for you, or watch the show on our YouTube channel. You can even subscribe to our podcast from your favorite podcast provider. You never have to miss a day of New Life. Wherever you are, we are.
I've been listening to New Life for many years, gone to a few workshops. I want to support a ministry that helps people connect with God and with others and gives them the tools to help transform their life.
You can help New Life Live stay on the air by joining Club New Life today. When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, we'll send you the new member thank you gift of all 8 100-day devotionals, including 100 Days of Healing, 100 Days from Freedom from Shame, and 100 Days of Freedom from Anger. There are also ongoing benefits like the monthly Club New Life CD or download, access to the Club New Life video library, quarterly resources, free shipping on purchased resources, discounts on workshops, and quarterly online meetings with Steve. call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Support Club New Life, and together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places. Call 1-800-639-5433 to join Club New Life today. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
We're back. Things can really be tough with the older parents, and we just want to always do the very best that we can. And I really sense that that's exactly what Sue's trying to do there. And, I'll send you this book, Doing Life with Your Adult Children. But also, I just hope and pray that you, your husband, if you need support in doing these kinds of things, that you'll get that. And just pray. I mean, God's got her. And the good news about her, it seems like it's one of those situations where if she's upset with something, she forgets about that. Her dementia actually works in her favor a bit. But I hope it will work out well with all of it.
And what about Dave's book? Finishing Strong, Living Well.
Yeah, I'll send that.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That's really for them versus your mom because, because it's sometimes these situations can really throw us off. But we'll send that to you also. Well, let's go to Kim, Pawnee, Illinois, and watches us on television on the NRB network. Kim, I don't have a lot of time, but I wanted to get to your call. So glad you did call. How can we help today?
Well, first of all, I have a. Are they viewing like actually where I'm located? Are they saying that, or
did I say where you're actually located?
Yeah, if it's recorded, are they going to put like where I'm at? Are they going to put a name on a city where I'm at?
Well, I'm looking at what people are seeing, and they see the name Kim, and underneath it is the word caller. That's all they see.
Oh.
How about that?
Yeah, so there won't be no like city listed. Is that correct, sir?
No, I did mention though the city.
What city did you mention, sir?
Pawnee, Illinois.
Okay, that's all right. That's all right, sir. Yeah, that's fine.
Good. Okay. So what's going on? How can we help you?
Well, years ago, I was in like secular music. I really wasn't that good of a guitar player back then. And but anyway, I got to get to the point because it can take going on and on.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of time, but we want to help you.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I got a cassette from a ministry. I think it was out of California.
Mm-hmm.
It was during the time when, I don't know if you ever heard of the rock group KISS,
Sure.
Yeah, okay, and then some other groups. But anyway, he was explaining on there, how that they were, these were like not from God because they were promoting immoral lifestyles and so forth and so on. But he said right before rock came out, or as it was coming out, or began to come out, these voices spoke to someone, and he said, we're coming down to destroy the youth of America, And then, of course, he started giving examples on the cassette. But he said rock and roll actually started through Elvis Presley, So the reason I'm calling is because I'm kind of confused about something.
Okay. What are you confused about?
Well, one thing, Elvis Presley sang gospel music. But anyway, I was going to a church here locally where I live. And the pastor's not there now. There's another one that took over. But anyway, he told me about, music does come from God and everything. So, but anyway, during that time, someone gave me a classical guitar. Of course, you couldn't plug it in or anything. It was like either had nylon or plastic strings on it. And but anyway, I was watching. I don't know if you heard of the 700 Club, but anyway, I hope it's okay for me to mention that. But Pat Robinson, I was watching television. I went in his bedroom. And he said, "Today's a special day of prayer. If you need anything, just call in, and the prayer partner will agree with you about it." So I turned the channel. I wanted to listen to scriptures, and God told me to turn right back and said the same thing. So I called in, and I said, "Well, somebody gave me the guitar. I want God to show me how to play it." Even though in high school I'd skip lunch, and I'd play, but I never played that good, And so when I got off there, shortly after that, my cousin, who was staying with the father, she was getting him a new computer, and she called me. It wasn't the same day, but anyway, she called me and said, "You want the old computer?"
Kim,
Yeah.
we're out of time. You're going to have to ask us a question and not give us any more details. What is your question?
Well, I'm going to have to go more detail and have more piece of that, sir.
But ask me the question about, is it a question about music in general?
Well, what I'm saying is was that from God, that cassette tape I had, or not? I mean, I do know that there's truth to that.
The truth would be the cassette made the point about music of what? What was its message about music?
What was that last part, sir?
What was the message of the cassette about music? What did it say?
Well, he said shortly before Elvis Presley came out and started singing rock and roll, these voices came that spoke through somebody and said, we're coming down this and destroy the youth of America.
Okay. So is the question, does music destroy the youth of America, or is it evil, or what? What's the question?
I want to know if it's true or not. I mean, and if it is, if that's true, because I don't really have to ask that, because I know that if it's either from God, because anything can come as an angel of light.
All right, let me just let me mention this, because he's mentioned it on this program. John Townsend, very respected therapist, one of the most respected, very, very dedicated Christian, loves heavy metal rock music. So, I mean, I hate it. I think, I went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and there were these videos of preachers back in the 50s saying that rock and roll was all about sex, drugs, things like that, and then you look back and you go, well, actually, it was kind of about that, and a lot of people got involved with that. And so what they were saying, they were trying to use it like making fun of the preachers that were talking about it, but it actually was pretty true. So here's what I would say. I would say that music is such a gift from God, and like every gift from God, it can be used for evil or for good, and we have to be discerning about that. And I would also say that many times pastors run out of stuff to talk about, and they might create a lot of smoke around one issue that isn't really the main issue. The main issue for me is, do I accept Jesus as my Savior? And am I going to love people well today because of that? So real quick, Jill, JJ, any comments you have about this?
Well, there are always generational things where one generation looks to the next and sees it as more corrupt. And so music does fall into that. And yet people, I believe one of the singers of Kiss has become a Christian and is very outspoken about it. And so God, I agree, Steve, with what you said. Satan seeks to destroy and to corrupt all that is good. Right? So
yeah, and he's a counterfeiter.
He's a counterfeiter.
Yes, exactly. Right. Yes. Yeah. Takes something that God intended for good, for healing, for life, and uses it for destruction. But that's been, there's nothing new under the sun. That's what the author of Ecclesiastes tells us, right? So it's not this generation that's doing that. It's been every generation.
Every generation, yes.
True. Okay. I'll send you Every Man's Bible. Number 2, thank you, Jill and JJ. Call us, 1-800-NEW-LIFE. We love you.
This program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, but you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433, or write to us at New Life Ministries, P.O. Box 1029, Lake Forest, California, 92609. Please join us again on Monday for New Life Live.
Thanks for watching today. We love helping people. I hope you sense that. And we know that there's always hope if you find the right resource. Now, if something we've said to somebody else applies to you, that's fantastic. That's what we're hoping for. But also, if you want to join us directly, you can call 1-800-229-3000 between 1 and 3 Eastern Time, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays. Those are the best times to get through. And while you're here on YouTube, check out these other videos that we've done to help people see where they could grow or a different path to take. And if you do that, would you give us a thumbs up on the video, and please subscribe to this channel. There are many ways that we can help you outside of the radio program, and it's very hard for some to pick up a phone and dial 1-800-NEW-LIFE, but when you do, we put you in touch with somebody who cares about you, knows all the resources out there, and they're going to find the best for you. There is no reason to struggle alone. I hope to see you tomorrow. Hope you'll invite somebody else to come and join that maybe needs just a little bit of help along the way. I'll see you next time.